Not all divrei Torah that we said tonight, everything, no Suda, everything we're going to do in the next 24 hours is Lili Nishmas Imi Morasi Shulam Spasar of Dov Yehuda. And so the started Bereishis now, went full circle from Le'enei Koisel to Bereishis Baral Kim. So we're going to darshan on that. So now, Kayadua, Le'enei Kol Yisrael, Rashi says, is Shvira Saluchas. Right? Now, of course, Dr. Glipter has a long arichas on this. He has Kama V'Kama terse on this, but I'm going to go in a different oifen. But I know Dr. Glipter has written on this. Le'enei Kol Yisrael, Shvira Saluchas. Right? So now the question is why you want to end off the Torah that way, the obvious question, and why it's merumas in the Indian of the Einayim, because le'enei. So Rashi brings the Chazal, they darshan because it says in Parsha Vashabram le'eneichem, right? So it goes to that, So therefore Einayim is like a code word for Shvira Salucha. So le'enei kol Yisrael means Shvira Salucha because Vashabram le'eneichem. So what's the kesher? That's now called, the Shvir Saluchas is called Einayim. That not Vashal Lechem happens. I broke it in front of you, Stam Kacha, but like it's Be'etzem, connected to the eyes. So Kayadua. This is one of the three things that Moshe did. Midaito v'Iskima Dato Das Hamakom. The three things are that the Yom Echad Hosif Moshe Midaito. Right, he added a day, right before that, because Kidashtem Hayom Machar, Ma Machar, Leilo Imo. So Hayom also has to be Leilo Imo on its sides, or in the middle of the day. All his nevuos came midday, so he added a day. That's how it became Shloshes Yimei Agbola. Otherwise, we've just been, 1.5. So that's how it became 3, because he made a drasha, right? And the third thing is Pirish Mina Isha. Right? These are three things that Moshe did midaito, and Akash was maskim. So you see that Akash was maskim to be most yom echad midaito because the Shekhinah didn't come down till Moshe Rabbeinu, till the date that Moshe Rabbeinu set by being most of yom echad. You see that Akash was maskim. They should be partial because he said va'ata po amodi, money stay with me, meaning don't go back. The go shuvalo lechem, go back to your earthly affairs. Vata po amodi modi, right? And now how we know that he was maskim to shviras luchos is as asher shibarta yasher kochacha shibarta. So it's not, he got a yasher koach on that. All right, so of course the whole thing is tamua ma'od because there's a lashon in Chazal. Right before that one of the Lashonos in Chazal is that Moshe Rabbeinu wrestled with HaKadosh Baruch Hu on the Luchas. Right after Chet Egel, Rebirth wanted to repossess the Luchas. Right, so Gavra Yodo Shel Moshe Kivyachol, he beat God and he wrestled the Luchas away, and he wrestled the Luchas away just for the purpose of breaking them. No. And also the idea, that that Moshe Rabbeinu would break the luchas. All right, it's kisvei, it's chotch, has a din of kisvei hakodesh, right? At least, right? All right, so kisvei hakodesh require geniza. You can't be mavaz them, with yeah. Okay. Why had Moshe Rabbeinu felt that he could do a thing like that? What was the basis for his understanding it? Why was it such a good idea? And the Master, why is Shvir Salucha such a good idea? Baruch Hu gave me Yasher Koach. Right? So the whole thing is the Maaseh Mushrosh, right? Le'ela, in the Torah of the Ari, that. Everyone knows, at least if it's already Meforish in the Medrash Rabbah. It's not from Zohar or anything. It's Meforish in the Medrash Rabbah. She'akadosh Baruch Hu bore olamos umachrivan. Baruch Hu created worlds before, so he was machriv them. Dein lo hanyanli, dein hanyanli. Right? These worlds that I created before, I have no hana from them. This world, that came after all these worlds that I destroyed, hanyanli. This is, from this I have hana. No? Why should be? Why should be? Why couldn't he get it? Rebirth Kivyachol couldn't get it right the first time. The Rebirth doesn't make mistakes. Then you show. that Yala al Adas, right? That you create something that didn't work out for him. So what's it mean? He created worlds that he destroyed. Elamai, behechrach, we have to say, simple svaras machriach to say that he knew it wouldn't work out, and it's dafka duch, right, through breaking those worlds, through the shvira, right, our world that comes after the shvira is the type of tikkun that he wants, right? That's the type of world that he wants, a world that's built out of shivrei kelim, right? Doesn't want a world that that was perfect from the get-go. He wants a world that was reconstructed. Dein hanyanli is what I want. That our world is built on shivrei kelim. So and to understand better, right? Only a Kodesh Baruch Hu could create yesh me'ayin. The Adam creates yesh me'yesh. Right, we just pull the pieces together of what HaKadosh Baruch Hu created. But even the way we piece things together, right? If HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't create that possibility, wouldn't we be able to do it either? Right? So the inyan of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Bore Olamas Umachrivan, in the most general sense, is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created for us, concepts. Now, once these concepts exist, right, because he created them, we can't create out of nowhere. Right? Once these concepts exist, so he breaks them, that we could reassemble them, right? But we couldn't build these things out of nowhere, right? Because only the Rebirth can make something out of nowhere, right? But that's our whole avoda. Our whole avoda is to pull the pieces together. You pick yourself up from what's broken. That's avodas ha'adam. That's asher, like we read in this week's parsha. Asher bara Elokim la'asos. La'asos is a lashon of tikkun, right? The tikkun is happening further and further and further because Lama said the whole world that we know is shivrei kelim. It's really built out of broken pieces, and it is our job, to pull the pieces together. A world that God created from the get-go is and did not break is not a world we could add to or detract from. On what basis? Well, this is the reality. Zeh ma sheyesh. This is what is. It's because it was built and it was broken, right? So now you could rebuild. And once you have that flexibility, you can even make it better than it was before. As a davar nifali's boning. Right, we're going to jump the gun and go straight to the Indian of the Hilula tonight. Right, that the things that are lanetzach, the things that are forever, is not anything that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created, right, and created, and that's what it, and that's where it is, and that's where it remains. The things that are lanetzach are the things that are reconstructed. Dok v'tishkach, so amazing to look into, right? Olam haba. So the Gemara says, Shital feshtin have alma v'chad choruv u'lesof elef shana akoshu chozrim chadashalava. That eternal world comes after Churban. It comes after Churban, right? The world that's going to last forever, that everlasting world. The guf that we have, that's going to live forever, because it also has to get schar mitzvahs, is the guf that you're going to get la'achar tchias hamesim. This body has to die first, and all the ra has to be smelted out. Right, and it gets reconstructed. The reconstructed things are what lasts forever. The reconstructed is what's lanetzach. Right? Hanukkah's coming, so next Chag on our calendar. So you read Mizmor Shir Chanukas Habayis LeDavid, right? So he's saying, and which he wrote, he wasn't zocher to build the Beis Hamikdash. Shlomo built it instead of him. So he wrote a hymn for when it would happen. You go through that; it's crazy, right? Hashem shivati lecha batirpeni. Hashem helisa min shol nafshi chisani miordi bor. Right? Ma b'riti shachar shma Hashem v'choneni Hashem and hafachta mispedil macholi. The whole Chanukas Habayis is all about, I was down, you picked me up. That's what you want to say about Chanukas Habayis. Right? Yeah, because the nitzchias of something is from the koach to rebuild. The koach to rebuild, right? And that's the inyan, right? That's the that's part of what Chazal mean. B'makom shebale tshuva oimdim tzikim boim en mechoyim lamod. These goodies. We spoke about this in our parsha this week. Right? These worthless goodies, who are just so perfect from beginning, right? That that never had to fix anything, right? All right, lo bazeh bachar Hashem, right? That's not because think about it for a second. All right, they're going with the flow that they were created with. So what were they meisef? What did they change? What were they meshane? Right? Right? What change did they make? What was their contribution? Right? And that's a sort of makom shabali tshuva omnin saying gemara en mechoyim lamod. Right? These that bounce back. Right? They tap into this koach. Right? That's the same yesod of tchias hamesim. Right, it's the koach to come back. The koach to come back is the yesod, right? That gives the hemshech, and the kiyum hanitzri, because that's what Kadosh Baruch Hu wants. He doesn't want what he created. He wants what we create, and what we create is to enable us to create. He broke things, so we should be able to create, right? And that's the power that we tap into. That's the koach hanitzri. Right? The nitzchis comes from what we fix. Nitzchis does not come from what you were granted. What we were granted and gifted. Nitzchis doesn't come from that. Nitzchis comes from what you changed, what you fixed, what you built up. Right? So now to go one step deeper, right? So it says in Kisvei Ari that the olamas that were nechrav were yotze from oros of the einayim of Adam Kadmon, right? Without getting into what the terms actually mean, we just need the association is good enough for the purpose of our discussion. But the olamas that broke are called oros ha'einayim. That's what broke, and that's the davar niflalis bonein. That in all the tefillas and in all the nevuas, when we talk about the tikkun, also it's all b'lashon riyah. Right? V'sechazena einenu b'shuv chal tzion, right? Ki ayin b'ayin yiru b'shuv Hashem tzion ve'einenu sirena malchusecha, right? V'hareinu Hashem okeu b'nechmas tzion recha dok v'tishkach. Throughout Tanakh, throughout the tefillas, it's all lashon of re'iyah, right? That's what needs fixing. We should things should look better. The shvira was ba'inayim, right? And that's really, you go back to the Cheta Ego, where they went wrong. Vayar ha'am ki boshesh Moshe redis minahar. It was a problem in their perspective. They didn't calculate, but it's called Vayar ki boshesh Moshe. Cheta maraglim, right? They didn't understand what they were looking at. They saw a lot of Levias. They called Eretz Ochel Yoshvehi, right? And they didn't realize that Kadosh Baruch Hu was, causing those Levias that people should be distracted and not notice the strangers infiltrating. Right, so a chisaron in their re'iyah. Same thing, what's also in that area, in those parshas Korach, right. So Korach she pikeach haya marosh kusu eino hit also is lashon Chazal. Eino hit also, right. They saw Shmuel come out, so he felt he can't lose because he lost Lovo. He's going to have Shmuel, so he can't die. He can't lose this battle against Moshe because he's destined to have a descendant Shmuel. He didn't realize that because his kids would do tshuva and be saved, right? So it's all the kishloinus are b'lashon ayin. What? Very good, excellent, Hashi. Excellent. It starts from Vatera Isha. Yeah, right. Everything that went wrong was ba'ayin. Everything and all the fixing is ba'ayin, right? Be'inayim, right? It's sort of the oros ha'inayim that because that's the whole challenge in Olam Hazeh, right? Is perspective, right? Perspective is the whole challenge, right? The Yitzhar gives you the false perspective. The CNN, they give you the false perspective, right? And what needs fixing, right? Right? What?
So you have Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker. Yeah. Yeah. What needs fixing is perspective, like Rebirth is Melech, right? There's no two ways about it. Malchuso b'kol masha. Right now he's manipulating everything. That's what that's also what it says in the Kavanis. What? Oh, it smells the good food. No. The newest Beckhofer, right? No, it's just too expensive to have another child. So it's just anyway. Gandhi, passive resistance. Anyway, it's the right. So what we say the challenge of Olam Hazeh is the challenge of perspective. The Rebirth is Melech even now Malchuso b'kol mashala. Right? He manipulates everything, but perhaps we don't see the Malchus. And the whole tikkun is totally ve'inenu sirena malchusecha, right? To see, right. V'rou kol basar yachtav kipi Hashem dibar. All the nevuos and all the tefillos are all saviv on the end of the ayin, right? Because of course, was the melech, right? You can't impeach him, right? Can't impeach a sitting God, right? You can't, right? Right, but the chisornus in the bria, the shvira is that you don't see the malchus, and the tikkun is to takasi. Right? That is and that's almost that the shvira was in the iris of the einayim, right? The cosmic power of sight is what broke and is what needs fixing. Right. So now the niflamod state, the pasuk says, I forget where it's the pasuk in Navi, v'chol yakar ra'asa eno, zu Rabbi Akiva v'talmid v'chaverav is lashon chazal, dvarim sheniglu niglu leMoshe. Niglu l'Rabbi Akiva, right? So it's called Chol Yakar Rasa Eno. He sees amazing things. Your Rasa Eno is Rabbi Akiva, right? So now everyone knows the famous Gemara Menachos that Moshe Rabbeinu went to Shamayim, and he saw a kosher ksarim loisius, and he asked him, Ribosh mi ma'akev ayadecha, right? So he says it's going to be a person besof kamadoros. Right, Akiva ben Yosef Shmuel is going to be darsh on each, coats and coats, tilim v'halachas, right? So Moshe Rabbeinu says, show me him, right? So he hears the shir, he didn't understand the shir, right? Until he heard Rebbe Zubinaycha halacha Moshe Misinai and Iskara Daito. So Moshe Rabbeinu says to Rebbe Shem like this: Yesh lecha adam kazeh v'ata nosein Torah al yodi shtok kach ol lefanei b'machshava. Don't ask me. This is what I intended, right? That but Moshe Rabbeinu wanted Torah to be given through Rabbi Akiva, right? Akiva is very smart. He was wise. Well, why does Torah have to be given through Rabbi Akiva? Right? Because the Masa like this, right? The Torah, is miloshen or, right? Oraisa, right? Kiner mitzvah v'Torah or. Right? And by man Torah v'cholam roi mesakolos, right? The Torah is supposed to be mitakein our perspective, right? And so that's why we daven after we say v'seim libenu, right? V'ha'er einenu b'sarasecha, v'ha'er einenu. After we already davened earlier in that same bracha that we should have havana Torah, we still say v'ha'er einenu b'sarasecha. Right, Torah's not just supposed to be ideas. Torah's going to be the tikkun hasholem of giving us the correct perspective on reality. That things that we talk about lost in level, the or chodesh al tzion Torah. The Torah is supposed to give us that. The Torah is supposed to give us that perspective, right? V'chol yakar ra'asa eno zu Rabbi Akiva v'chaverav. Chol yakar ra'asa eno. He sees more than I see. That was his taina. If Torah is supposed to be nitfas b're'iyah, right? Right, the man could see more than I could see. I don't see what he sees. That's why Torah should be given through him, right? Because Torah is supposed to be that mamish see. So it's not just be ideas. It's supposed to be tangible, like you mamish. It's real. Right? It's so clear that you could now see life. The Torah is taka reflective of what reality really is. Right? Rabbi Akiva could see more than I can see, even though it's in his mind's eye. So how's the Gemara go on? So he says, show me what's going to be with him. And he saw, how they're flaying Rabbi Akiva alive. And Moshe Rabbeinu asked, Zutar v'zu schara? Shtok, kachal fanei b'machshava. Right? There's Davar Nifali's bonin, that Rabbi Akiva, who could see more than Moshe Rabbeinu, right? The man was mamash, had a tragic end. But he didn't have a pleasant beginning either. The man first started at the age of 40. Right? There's the ultimate Baal Tshuva story. They started at the age of 40 and became, the Amud of Torah Sheba'al Peh. But it's not a coincidence that to go Yoter Amok, right? Everyone knows there's a famous Medrash Tiferes Yisrael quotes that Rav Ruderman crossed out from his Mishnayos. Right? That supposedly a man contracted someone to, a king heard about Moshe Rabbeinu, sent an artist to the desert to draw a portrait of him. Came back with the portrait, showed it to people who know Chachmas Apartz, said there's a Noyef, he's a Roitzeach, he's a this and this and this and this and this and this, right? All the bad stuff, right? And then, as king wanted to kill the artist, can't beat it. It's this great leader of Moses that I heard about. All right, so the way the story goes, actually, he sent a shliach to Moshe Rabbeinu to ask him about it, and Moshe Rabbeinu said, I have all these bad meters, so I was metaking all these bad meters. Ruben took those lines of Tiferes Yisrael, he crossed out, and he wrote Bagilyon, it's against Chazal, because state, Vatere Kitovu, Shenismala Habayis, Rash says, Nismala Habayis Kulo Ora. Moshe Rabbeinu was taka perfect from the way it was created. Moshe Rabbeinu Moshe Rabbeinu didn't go through a shvira. The man was born perfect, right? And that was and that was the and that's what Rebbe says. Shto kachol fanei b'machshava, right? This man did not go through the trials and travails of life of being broken and rebuilding. Why? Kachol fanei b'machshava, right? Right? Rabbi Akiva, who the man's whole story is like dealing with shvira, everything, right? Lomi Baya, right? That his own life, after 40 years, starting after the age of 40 years of his life went out, right? Right, but
I can't get the door. I'm holding the door.
Right. Yeah, but
I got it. Okay,
yeah.
thank you very much. Hey. Sit.
I'll explain about that afterwards. Whatever. It's yeah. Yeah. Oh. Right. Who is that, Avromi? Avromi, come wash and.
I actually am waiting for a meeting, but
Oh, come on, you have to share some anecdotes about my mother. You have to share some anecdotes, but I'm almost done. My mother's a next door neighbor for last kufa of her life. Please sit down, Avrami. Please have something. Lilu Nishmas, my mother. L'chaim at least. Yeah. But the man saw his whole life's work go down the tubes, between Perak Echad, between Pesach and Atzeres, right? 24, 24,000 Talmidim, right? But what happened? But Vashtet Nochdem, right? Then he went Etzel Rabosenu Shebadorom, and from there he was Ma'amid Torah. And this Rabosenu Shebadorom gave us the whole Torah Sheba'al Peh that we have, because all the stimus that's Alibid Rabbi Akiva are from these 5 Talmidim. Right, the Tosefta, the Mishnah, Stam Mishas Rameir, right, and Stam Tosefta Rabbi Nechemia, all the Rabbi Seshem B'Dorim. So it says in the Ramchal, the Adir Bamar Mamish, that the 24,000 that died were beside the Olam Almin de Ischarvu. They were the Kalim that were broken, the Olamas that were Nechrav. These 5, that endured, that's the Olam Atikon, and the 5 are kind of the 5 Partsufim Gayadua that endured after the Shvira. Rabbi Akiva's whole life is one of picking up the pieces again, right? And that remains Rabbi Akiva's position, right? That he had to die in that tragic way, right? Because he is, in the Svarim, right? Because he is the shomer of when we fall, right? That we should be able to pick up and get up again. So Rabbi Akiva had to die there, mamash, in the lowest possible way, right? That in him it was mekuyim. What it says is parsha va'ata state va'ata tishufeno akev. That's Rabbi Akiva. Va'ata, that the nachash gets you at the heel. So it stated in Shloah Kodesh. That was mekuyim in Rabbi Akiva, right? Yaakov became Yisrael, right? But in Rabbi Akiva, va'ata tishufenu akev. That's Rabbi Akiva. Right, that he's the shomer, that we should always be able to get up and pick up the pieces, and that's why he was the one who gave the final form to Torah Shebaal Peh that could endure. But it's after a shvira. It's after he lost everything. He started 40, then lost everything, and from the 5 that he fixed, the pieces that he picked up, from that come nitzchias. Right? That's b'makom shebali tshuva omdim. Right? And that's why Moshe Rabbeinu wanted the Torah to be given through him. Right? Moshe, I'm perfect. You made me perfect. He was created perfect from the get-go. Right? So Moshe says, Shto kachal farei b'machshava. Right? But when he saw Am Yisrael, fail by the ego, right? So even though he thought that Am Yisrael should still have the Torah, so Gavra Yodo Shel Moshe, but what type of Torah would have been? What type of Torah would have been if we would have had Luchas Rishonas after Ched Ego? It's a Torah that would have been invisible to us, right? Because the Torah was on such a high level that even the Luchas were Ma'aseh Elokim, not just the Ksav, but even the Luchas were Ma'aseh Elokim. The Luchas would have been invisible, right? It would be a Torah that we couldn't be able to connect to, right? We'd be able to, so not on the experiential level that Torah is supposed to be. It's supposed to be Nitfas B'Re'iyah. It would be an invisible Torah. So we'd hear ideas from it. Most people didn't want that. So, Va'ashabram le'einechem daika, right? Besod the Oros Hainaim, they were nishbar because we lost our perspective because of Aram Kiboshes Moshe. Va'ashabram le'einechem, because of your eyes, but also for the sake of your eyes, right? Because that paved the way for Luchas Shnias. They're Besod Balei Tshuva, right? Besod Torah Shebaal Peh, because what's God given that we don't fix and we don't tamper with is Torah Shebechsav. Torah Shebaal Peh, we have Sveikas, and you have a Shakal Vitaria, and you have a Kasha that that slugs up everything. You get back up again, and that's the way it's supposed to be. V'machshel sos Gemara Gittin Daf Mem Gimel. Machshel sos tachas yedecha. Ein adam omeid al divrei Torah elam kei nichshol bahem tchila. Or the Gemara Megillah, Ani Daniel be noisy basfarim, be noisy michlal the Torah, right? You're only omid al divrei Torah when you get up again after everything's been shattered, all your preconceived notions went out the window. Then you could be omid al divrei Torah when you pick up the pieces again. That's why it's set up in the shaka v'tayr that just sets up stuff and just knocks it all down, because the final maskana that stands is after the shvira of the whole shakla vitaria. That's what stands. That's what's maskanas miloshin lasik, to stand, to raise. What raises up and stands is oimed, is what comes after the whole shvira, after shakla vitaria just shattered everything else, right? And so Moshe Rabbeinu understands that we have to do this. We have to reinstate the pattern, right? Reinstate the pattern of shvira and tikkun, right? So that the Torah, because the rebuilding, is mitzad, the rebuilding is how Klal Yisrael could have a shaychus to Torah again. Mitzad, the pilpul of how, that's what pilpul is. You reconstruct, you pull the pieces together, from, this end of Shas through pilpul, right? You start pulling the pieces together, right? The Midas Shatorah Drespem is all acts of construction, picking up the pieces, pulling pieces together, and that's the lashon that HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe. It's a Medrash Tanchuma. Al titztar baluchas sheshbar luchas shani nosel l'chad. The new ones yesh b'hem medrash halachas va'agadas. So that's that the second luchas relative to the first luchas were b'chinas Torah Shebaal Peh. First luchas were ma'aseh came everything was God granted. God granted. It might have been good for the madrega that we were on, but it wasn't good for the madrega that we fell to. Right, so the Torah also had to be nishbar, right, and then reconstructed, reconstructed, and then we have a shaykhs to it, mitzad the reconstruct, mitzad the mahalach of tshuva. Right? As it were, Moshe Rabbeinu himself was the transitioning on purpose to the world of Rabbi Akiva by breaking the luchas. Right? So even though it was and that's the one thing that really is in common between the three things that Moshe Rabbeinu did al da'ato, also Moshe midaito. Right, it's things that everything has to do with shvira, right? So shvira saluchas, right? So pirish mina isha, that's a shvira, right? Man and woman should be together. The shlemus and salmas together, right? He made a cheshbon. No, I'm going to break up the zivug, right? I'm going to break it up, right? And even yom echad hosif Moshe midaito, all right? The Svar was said fakir, allow the Shekhinah to come into the world sooner. Right? He delayed it. He pushed it off. Right? That's all shvira l'tzorach tikkun. Shvira l'tzorach tikkun. Right? And that's what it means le'enei kol Yisrael. It's all murmurs and words le'enei kol Yisrael. Right? That all the shviras, first of all the shviras besod oros ha'inayim. Right? It's le'enei. Right? I'd like to explain. Right? But getting just on a simple level. Right? This was for us to put the Torah in a mahal that has to be reconstructed, right? That the whole gisha, the approach to Torah is Baal Tshuvadik, right? That we don't have clarity. We got to pull the pieces together. The way a Baal Tshuva has to pick up the pieces from his life, right? And pull the pieces together, right? If Torah wouldn't be in that mahalach, we wouldn't have a kesher to Torah. Right, and that's what makes the finality, right? The finality of Bereishis bara Elokim, right? That B'shul Torah, B'shul Yisrael, right? That Yisrael comes from the same shorish as the Torah, right? But there's another law. The Rashi does not quote the whole Chazal. Chazal go into an interesting philosophical discussion, and with this we'll conclude. Mi nivra lami Yisrael la Torah or Torah B'shul Yisrael. So even though they come from the same shorish, the Klai saw in the Torah. Is there a concept that is there like even though they come from the same shorish, is one like Kilu first, the other one second? Was Klal Yisrael nivra for the Torah, or the Torah was nivra for Klal Yisrael? Which is it? The Torah, you have a Torah, so you have to have an Amnitz Mekayim Torah, Fakir. There's a Klal Yisrael, they need a Torah. The Medrash clears the Shaila. And Medrash brings a few rayas, brings that HaTorah Nivres B'Shvil Yisrael. Yisrael's the Iker. The Torah is for Klal Yisrael. The Torah is for Klal Yisrael, right? So lo yala das that the Torah is hecher than Klal Yisrael, which would have been the matzah if we would have held on to Luchos Rishonos, which would have been invisible to us, because the Torah is b'shvil Yisrael, right? So even though they come from the same shorish, but the cause of it is that the Torah is for Klal Yisrael, not Klal Yisrael for the Torah. The Torah cannot be bigger than Klal Yisrael. Klal Yisrael can't relate to, because the Torah is nivra b'shvil Yisrael. So that's what Vashabram le'einechem. Le'enei kol Yisrael. Le'enei kol Yisrael. That Am Yisrael should have eyes, that the Torah should be on par, that Am Yisrael's eyes could see it. Right? Transition the Torah. That should be in the Mahalach of Pilpul, the Mahalach of V'chol Yakar Rasa Eno Zurei B'Akiva Chaverov. Right? And that's a kiyum of Bereishis B'Shul Torah B'Shul Yisrael, because the Torah was never B'Shvil Yisrael. Right? And that's to bring it full circle. That's our view on the Yom HaPtira. Right? Right, it's a it's a shvira. Misa is a shvira, right? But it's beside the same thing of almond ischarvu and the whole any shvira that there was in Jewish history, right? That it's a shvira l'tzarech aliyah, and that's why aside from the avelos, which is all din of covered ames, before the mace himself, it's a yerida l'tzarech aliyah, because the guf that's going to be lenetzach is the guf that's resurrected. This guf that we have now cannot live lanetzach, no matter how many mitzvahs we can do. No matter how mitzvahs we do, it cannot live lanetzach. It can't. It has to die first in order to be resurrected, in order to be makabel all the earth and neshama. And the same thing also, as much as Yom HaMisa is a shvira, so it's for the guf it's yiril tzarech aliyah, and for the neshama it's kulo, aliyah, that the guf was yours, so the neshama could go higher and higher. That happens every yahrzeit. The Yom HaMisa is really the day that you're reborn. The setback of Misa is day of rebirth, and that's what the yahrzeit. That every year the neshama goes to a higher and higher madrega. Rosh should help. We should our mitzvahs, our divrei Torah, or Ma'aseh Tov should facilitate the bar lula. She she was a machanechech that had thousands of talmidim in her life, right? And Hashem should help that that zchus should be omid la as she goes to her higher place on this day. Chaim.